Canane in the corner. Her third from outside. Zone. Shot. It's good! Espinal pulls up, knocks it down! Great to be back at the Luke Urban Fieldhouse. We'll get our first look at the Durfee girls on this rainy Tuesday night. Southeast Conference play opens up here at Durfee. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massoud, joined once again by Brendan Kelly. Great to be here and great to see the girls for the first time. We had Attleboro on the schedule back December 18th. That game was postponed due to the weather. So tonight, had to wait a little while, but Brockton's in town. This ought to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, anytime there's the original Big Three teams in the house, it's always fun. Conference great this year. You know, all 5 teams doing really well, and Durfee gets an opportunity to open up their conference play tonight.
You mentioned the conference is going to be really tough this year. Dartmouth's having a heck of a season to start it off. BR always tough. In fact, Coach Seavey here catching some of the action as well, some scouting, I guess you could say. But Durfee a little bit thin. They're missing one of their key starters, Maya Hayes-Paulette.
Yeah, she brings so much to the table. I mean, as good of a high school player in the area as it gets. She's already had a great career. Hopefully she can get back and, you know, finish what she started here at Durfee.
Interestingly enough, talked to Coach Enos from Brockton, her second year as head coach for the Boxers, and she said a lot of the same that Coach Karen said for Durfee, is that they're trying to produce offense via defense. So I don't expect a high-scoring game tonight.
No, this has grinded out written all over it, and the way Durfee plays and their style and Coach Karen's, you know, style of defense, Durfee can win a game in the 30s and 40s.
Well, it's the first of 2 girls' games this week. We have girls here on Fred TV tonight, and on Friday the girls head to Dartmouth. I'll have that game for our friends over at DCTV live as well. So a double header of girls' hoops this week. We hope to stick around. Tip-off right after the break.
Hello, my name is Laura Ferreira, the Director of Traffic and Parking. During a snowstorm, your safety is our first priority. At times, a parking ban may be necessary to ensure access for emergency vehicles and to allow plows to clear streets. A general rule is park on the side of the street opposite the fire hydrant. For more information, please visit our website at www.fallriverma.org and search parking ban. In addition, you may call the Mayor's office at 508-324-2600 or the Office of Traffic and Parking at 508-324-2123. New England weather can be unpredictable. Notification of a parking ban will be made early to give residents the opportunity to move their vehicles. Thank you for your assistance and cooperation.
Welcome back, everybody, inside the Luke Urban Fieldhouse. Evan Massoud and Brendan Kelly with you for Girls Hoops. It is January the 9th. There we go. First full week of the month. Great way to start it off here with Girls Hoops. Lots of action this week on Fred TV. We're live tonight. Tomorrow we'll have recorded wrestling, which will air Thursday. Friday, I mentioned in the open, I'll be back in Dartmouth as the Durfee girls visit Dartmouth. So I'll have the Dartmouth road games, or Dartmouth home games, road games for Durfee this season, as I've had in other seasons previously. And then Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock, we have hockey over next door at Driscoll. We'll be live for that. So busy week here as we get into January. Opening tip will go Durfee's way, and here we go.
Durfee starting. Juliana Souza, number 3, senior guard. Number 4, captain, senior guard, Julia Hargraves. Number 14, senior guard, Maggie O'Connell. Number 23, center, sophomore Avery Lane. And number 25, sophomore wing, Maddie Hargraves.
And, of course, Hilltoppers led by head coach Jeff Karen. A steal for the Boxers. Good pass down the court, looking for a 3, and it is no good. Brockton will get their own offensive rebound. We'll get to their starters in just a sec. As Madison tries to set the play here. Back to King.
Durfee starting in a 2-3 zone right now. A staple of a Jeff Karen coach team is good defense. They'll switch things up a lot. Be totally organized defensively. So starting out on a 2-3 as Brockton gets 2 on the board.
That was Sonali Carter, number 11, with the bucket to start us off here tonight. She's joined on the floor by starter number 0, Ava Montero, number 4, Nevaeh King, number 12, Tajaya Madison, and number 15, Tanaya Simpson. Boxers led by Coach Barbara Enos, her second year, class of 02. Quick release is good for a long deuce for Souza, and Durfee's on the board.
Durfee out on a 2-2-1 now. As I said, they're going to switch up defenses. They're going to force Brockton to really make adjustments, not just, mindlessly dribble into their offense. They're going to have to look every time down the floor to make sure they know what defense Durfee's in. As Avery Lane with a solid 2 in the lane, old school hook shot.
Avery in the lane. There you go.
That's a good one. I wonder if she's ever heard that one on the basketball floor before. If not, it's perfect. Avery in the lane for 2.
Travel called against Brockton. We mentioned in the open the production of creating offense via defense, something that Coach Karen has talked about, and that's something Coach Enos said to me as well. So that stood out because we've heard it from Jeff, all through last year, and it's a similar team this year. So that's part of the reason why he's saying that. But one of the things that I always find amazing, and it goes back to the playoff game that we saw here, the home game that the girls had last year, is, if you stick to a game plan and you're able to execute it, you certainly can shut down a team while scoring, dare I say, the bare minimum offensively. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sometimes, especially at the high school basketball level, offenses can go cold and they can be very... Excuse me. Offenses can be very cold, or they can come and go, but you can always play hard defensively, and you can always generate. And you got to have a team that wants to play defense and is organized defensively to make up for those lack of offense at times.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that not only you have a team that they have to want to play defense, but having a coach that also knows how to coach defense and really scheme up things and look at the tape and exploit a team's weakness, that's a big part of it too, obviously. So, it's a player's game. The player's going to take it on the court and execute, but all the preparations and practice lays on the coach. You've been there,
Yeah, I mean, it's your daily practice habits, what you practice, and as a coach, what you prioritize in your daily practice. And I've said this multiple times, even in my volleyball coaching, I model a lot after Jeff. He was a great mentor to me when I was a young coach. And, I learned a lot about defense and a lot about practice and defense on the daily. And that's what they do daily, in their practice habits here. And you can see it on the floor. They know exactly what they're in defensively. They can switch them up on the fly. Everybody knows their rotations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest challenge is, what do you do, or where do you try to find a real good spark offensively? Because this is not a team that's going to put up 70 a game. Long 3 here for Hargraves is good. 7-0 run here for Durfee after Brockton scored first. But, I look at it and I say, obviously, you were fortunate when you were coaching that you had some key offensive weapons, like real weapons. You had, Brianna, you had Shaylin, and gosh, who am I?
Chelsea Campbell, Rachel
yes.
Kamara, Jalen
Kamara,
Jackson.
yeah.
There was
Jalen,
a lot of people. Jordan Garvin.
You had Feidelberg off the bench.
Yep.
You had a lot to work with, and Jeff and Coach Smith before him really didn't have that per se. I know that we had Mackenzie got 1,000 points a couple seasons ago, and she was key as well, but she was kind of it. She was like the one go-to. Whereas Coach DeCruz that same year had Holly, had Lewis, had Stewart coming up, had Espinal coming up. You had guys that you could really, anybody could shoot. So I wonder, obviously the middle school is a big feeder program, but there's some seniors on this team that are big key players, key starters for Coach Karen, that this is their last year, and they're going to need somebody big to step up.
Well, they have a balanced scoring. So on any given night, somebody can light up the stat sheet, which is a fun way of coaching too. It can be unpredictable at times, but a lot of the games I did last year, these girls have played a lot of basketball and a lot of basketball together, and it's been really fun. They used to come to my camp when Jameson and I were running it, which is now we're going almost 10 years ago, and to watch them grow and be very successful varsity players, it's fantastic. So from an offensive standpoint, on any given night, somebody can light it up, and it's exciting.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that is an exciting thing. I think I guess what I'm getting at is sometimes that unpredictability, if you will, that uncertainty can make it a bit challenging, obviously, too, to know that, maybe you're a little limited offensively, so now it's like all defense. But O'Connell drains one now, and the Hilltoppers have scored 10 straight.
And they're coming from the outside with 2 3-pointers on back-to-back plays, and Juliana Souza essentially hitting a three. Her foot was just on the line, Kevin Durant style, but Durfee's come out hot shooting right now.
LeBron style.
Well, the Kevin Durant play from a couple years ago. If he had a size 16 instead of an 18, they would have won. So Kevin Durant style.
Oh, my gosh. Our first timeout here of the game, Coach Enos going into the timeout. Oh, why do we have the Christmas graphics still on there? Holiday graphics. Let's fix that. It's over. It's over. The holidays have come and gone.
Yeah, speaking of that, we're already in the second week of January.
It's insane.
And
I know.
Tomorrow midweek, it's crazy. On the holiday weekend, this weekend, a lot of basketball games get played, and
right.
Some teams are already Dartmouth already 10-0. On the girls' side, they're already at the midway point. It's crazy how fast things go, and especially when you get back from holiday break, it is just. January can be a long month, but it's also a fast month, and February vacation, and we're going to be talking tournament time before you know it.
You're 100% right. That's the thing. Time flies, and it's like, gosh, we think about how fast the year goes here, and
it is what I'm talking about. Durfee right now in their third defensive look right now.
Nice rebound
Turnover,
right there.
And give an opportunity to go to the foul line. Their third, in the first quarter, they're going to make Brockton every time. Brockton's going to have to make sure they're organized on their press breaker and their initial offenses, because it's going to be a different look every time.
So Juliana Souza at the line. And the first one will go.
Good to see Brockton sent back. When I was coaching, Brockton was an absolute nightmare to play. And, another great steal and a great pass.
O'Connell goes down, a travel called as she's fallen down there.
As I was saying, with any basketball and high school team, there's waves. And, it's always exciting when the original Big Three teams are all competitive and good. That makes for a good game. It's exciting. I think it's good for basketball in this area.
More pressure from the Hilltoppers. They get the turnovers. The ball goes out of bounds.
Brockton right now looking to return the favor with some full court pressure here.
Good pass to Souza. She'll take the jumper a little long as it wraps around the rim and pops back out.
Good to see Souza right now opening up the game with some confidence right now. She's not thinking about when she gets that ball. She's looking to put it up on the rim, which is a good sign.
Long three misses into the hands of Maddie Hargraves, and right along the outside.
Looks like they're going to call her for dribbling out of bounds. No little foul off in that area. Coach Karen is.
Well, there was a little contact there, too. I think I'm assuming he was thinking there was going to be a whistle for the foul and not the out of bounds. Very close right there along the side, but a turnover nonetheless. Quick in there, now out to the point.
Brockton skipping right now with their passes.
Rivera back to Madison. Down low, lost the ball, has to kick it back out. A chance for Brockton, no good. And a push out of bounds. Great job by Hargraves here. Just absorbing the foul, knowing it's coming, and protecting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's the box out drill that you do. See how long you can box out for. Players don't usually like to do it. It's exactly what she did. She got a foul off of it.
Yep, and Rivera just into the game. Layla Rivera gets hit with that foul, but Brockton seals it on the inbound, and Rivera's going to make up for it. Gets the basket and stops a 12-0 run for the Hilltoppers.
Heck of a move by the freshman. That's a varsity level move.
Coach Enos very high on her lone freshman starter and her two sophomores, but she also said at the same time she's got quite a few seniors, as you see, Brendan. Only 11 on the roster total players, but there's quite a few seniors, and she said they have really stepped up this season, and she's very pleased with the effort. Results may not completely be there yet at 3-3, but she's very pleased by what her seniors are giving her as Rivera picks up her second foul, and she will exit the game for now kind of as quickly as she came in.
Yeah, with seniors, seniors win ball games. You do a lot of good things with seniors, a lot of leadership, and, they've been around the program. The opportunity to show young kids the way, and, there's no doubt that some of Brockton's success is because of their senior leadership.
O'Connell for three. It's going to be a little short there, and the rebound goes to Brockton. Nevaeh King coming away with it quick down the court here. Oh, good pass, but a travel. I love the idea, but you had Durfee also kind of coming down and shielding that pass a little bit.
Yeah, Durfee using their speed to get back defensively and getting their hands on that.
Julia Hargraves tripped up. And she was double teamed again. Brockton with some pressure in the backcourt. Fourth foul for the Boxers. This one is on Simpson, her first.
And this goes into what we were talking about last month. 4 fouls, 5, you go for 2. No more 1-and-1. I was at a high school game last Friday, and you and I talked the last time we were together about whether or not we like the new foul situation and how it can change a little bit strategically. The game I was at, down late in the game, teams, the 1-and-1 situation is what I was saying.
Yeah.
You used to have to force the person to make the first one, and
right.
Now that was kind of out of the window. It was a little bit less pressure, I thought, for the person taking the free throw.
It's funny, Coach Seavey, I was talking to her but during JV, and while we were setting up, Coach Seavey, the head coach for Bridgewater Rainham, for you folks who are, watching us here and may not know who we're talking about, but she was kind of saying the same thing. And I got to see the Brockton boys and the Dartmouth boys last Friday. I was up. That's actually why I texted you to ask you if you knew Coach Bowen was back.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I saw them. I said, I know that V-neck sweater. I know that red sweater. And I said, oh, my goodness, Bob Bowen is back. What a nice guy. I was thrilled to go and see him and to say hello. And
the red sweater was back even as he was one chair down.
You better believe it. And, but in that game, the final 90 seconds of the game literally took close to 15 minutes because of all the fouls, all the timeouts. I mean, you want to talk about, it was like an NBA fourth quarter. It was insane. So neither side got into foul trouble, but they were able to get to free throws a lot quicker in the fourth because of the 5-foul rule now, the automatic 2 shots. And I'll tell you, Brockton got it to a one-possession game. They kept chipping away. It was a really good game. Steal. Boxers.
Great move.
It is
finish.
absolutely. Madison with the basket. 10 seconds here. Hilltoppers with a chance to add to their 8-point lead here with now 5 seconds. Corner, O'Connell looking for another, and it's going to be short. Good first quarter, though, for Durfee. 12-0 run will help any day of the week.
Yeah, Durfee shot the ball pretty well in the first quarter. Brockton didn't, but Brockton's still in this game right now, 8-point game. You know, I was impressed with Durfee defensively. We talked about that. I know that's part of their game plan. Switch some things up, force Brockton to think a little bit. And, you know, Brockton did a pretty good job considering they didn't shoot the ball well. Durfee did. Be a good second quarter.
Well, the boys, we did post it on our Facebook page, and I believe the Fall River Schools Facebook page also shared our post, which has information for both. Brockton Community Access is live streaming the boys game right now, so we'll be able to check in. For those of you who don't want to flip back and forth, we'll be able to check in as the game goes on here as to how Durfee's doing on the road, and that game will air on the channel, on Channel 9, probably at some point tomorrow, later in the day. We'll be able to pull that down from Brockton, as we always share content. So we'll have the boys game as well. We also have the class of 1974 this year celebrating its 50th reunion. They're having their big celebration Saturday, August the 10th, 5:30 p.m. at White's of Westport, $75 a person. And for those of you who are interested from that class, we congratulate you on the milestone. For tickets, you can go to their Facebook page that was created specifically for the event. BMC Durfee BMC Durfee class of 1974 50th reunion. That was a mouthful. The long Facebook page, but it's good because all the information's there. You can't mistake it because there's a lot of pages. We have one for 07. There's a lot of different Facebook pages for reunions. So this way you know you got the right one. You're searching for your graduating class.
Now, in the podcast world, would that be considered an ad read? What you just did? Because I've never done one, and I don't know if I could. I don't think I want my first one to be
spot.
I don't think I want the one to be on live.
I'm calling it
broadcast.
I'm calling it a live PSA or a live spot because
not an ad read.
Because we're not making money off it.
Yes,
we're non-profit, folks.
Good,
Remember
good
that.
Call.
We're a non-profit. We're here for you.
But
non-profit helping non-profits.
We'll call that an equivalency, though.
There you go.
Maybe later on in the year, give me one. See if I can do it.
Yeah. Oh, please. You think you can't?
I don't know.
You can.
I've never done one.
I'll give you one. That foul was on Simpson, her second. It's the first foul here in the second quarter for Brockton, for either side, actually. Travel called against Hargraves.
Brockton that round right there in a 2-3 zone, picked up their defensive intensity a little bit, right? Trying to spark some offense off their defense as well.
Mm-hmm. Great to see that Maddie Hargraves, you know, is healthy and ready here. Those of you who watched our fall playoff coverage, you know, she had a really tough game there against King Philip and looked like she had twisted up her ankle or something like that, and you know, she tried to stay in and just couldn't put like any weight on it. So I know we were concerned watching that filming and me broadcasting that game. I said, geez, you know, basketball is right around the corner. Hopefully this is not a lasting injury, and she's moving quite well. So I'm glad to see that she's, you know, she's competing and not limping and doesn't seem to have any issue there. So
she's a tough kid,
absolutely,
and you know, great athlete, only a sophomore. But I
keep forgetting. It's incredible.
She's had a great start to the season. You know, she's really upped her offensive output, putting the ball in the basket for her. And, you know, while she doesn't play like a sophomore.
No.
You know, for whatever that saying is. But
sure.
She
plays with more experience than she has.
Well, she's played a lot of sports. She's played in big games.
I remember seeing her in the middle school championships her 8th grade year. And I said, wow. I said, she's when she gets here, she's going to make some noise. Yeah, and she's really been great.
She's a throwback to the point where she's been dying to play here since, you know, she could probably dribble a soccer ball or dribble a basketball.
Well, you know, she saw her brother and she saw her sister ahead of her family.
Members, friends, cousins. There's, you know, a long lineage of coming to Durfee basketball and soccer and baseball and football games, and she's you can tell she's enjoying every second of it.
Brockton has not hit a free throw. They've had 2 opportunities off of fouls. That last trip was Sonali Carter, and she missed both. So 0 for 4 are the Boxers at the line tonight. Small sample. Durfee's only been to the line once, and they were 1 for 2.
Jada Johnson-Scott in the ball game now for Durfee and for Avery Lane playing the center position. A nice move, just didn't finish.
That's for 3 and hard off the back of the rim. Good rebound there. Chasing it down was Simpson.
Great rebound by Jada Scott.
Yeah. Good stretch there, and she drew the foul as well. That's the second now for Madison. So 3 different players for Brockton with fouls, and those 3 each have 2. So everybody else safe. 2 fouls for Brockton now. Durfee with only 2 for the game to this point. Hargraves, another rebound there from that time offensive for Scott, but not able to put it back up. Deflected on the way back. And now Brockton with it here. Madison, spin move left, spin move right. Has it stripped away, and oh, so close. Great effort again by Hargraves here, but stepping out of bounds, obviously, trying to save it.
Durfee digging in defensively right now. What's great about them when the shots aren't falling, it does not affect their defensive intensity, which is very important.
Tough miss there from Montero.
Johnson-Scott doing a nice job in the game right now. It's short minutes, rebounding the ball well, working hard.
Simpson with her 3rd foul now. She just picked up back-to-back. Yeah, Coach Karen was saying that, the Attleboro game, because they had the road game. The game we were supposed to do was the home game. We got to play on the road. Says we were tied 14 at the half. He says, wow, you think that's pitiful, only 14 points. But at the same time, he says, we held Attleboro to just 14 points in the first half. So that's fantastic.
Good teams know how to win different styles.
Yeah.
To think that at the high school level that games are going to be in the 50s, 60s, 70s every single night, it's just not realistic.
Yeah.
So if you can teach your team and stress to your team that some nights you're going to have to win different ways and have those players believe in that, then you can win in different ways, and a 14-14 game is nothing.
Yeah, 100%. Couple more subs here for Durfee. We have Avery Lane back into the game, and
Juliana Souza back in.
Oh yeah, Juliana. Okay. Juliana back in, so that's good. The throwaway there from Brockton, errant pass. They were moving the ball very well. Good passing, quick passes around the arc, and then sent it to the near corner here a moment ago, and there was nobody home. So it went out of bounds, and Durfee had it. Souza trying to make an impact right off the bench again. That time now not going to fall, not enough on it.
I'll tell you what, though, I am impressed with Juliana Souza. She's looking to score the ball. They're just not falling right now, but they're all good shots, and I'm a true believer in when you're taking good shots, they will eventually fall. So it's not for lack of running their stuff. The ball's just not falling in right now.
Well, there you go. Just about halfway through the second quarter, rather, as we now are under 4 minutes. That was our first basket. Shows you how both sides here defensively really tightening things up. That basket was Rivera, who just came back in for the Boxers.
Again, what's great about both teams right now is they're running this stuff that's a heck of a pass from a very far spot. Even better catch and kind of a drop step. But wow, that was a very tough pass that went right through the needle.
Lane picking up her first foul. Second foul for the team here in the second quarter. Brockton looking for their first free throw of the night. And that one will not go either. So Sonali Carter 0 for 3 to this point. She'll get one more shot. There's Brockton's first free throw made in the game. So 14-9, Brockton with the 3 points in this quarter. The only 3 points for either side. O'Connell, the end around here, the backside pass to herself to try to progress around the arc. Now to Hargraves, back to her, has Maddie Hargraves to the left, and a foul called against Madison. So she's going to have her third. That's 2 starters now for Coach Enos with 3 fouls each individually. So she's going to have to come out now.
Nice way for Durfee to kind of break a little bit of this scoring slump right now is try to get some things going to the basket. One more foul, they'll be shooting 2, and that's exactly what O'Connell does, but Brockton with a nice block.
That was a really good block.
Right in front of us, too. That was as all ball as it gets.
Lane. No, that wasn't Lane. My bad. Layla Rivera. Goodness, where did Lane come from? Hargraves won't get it to fall. Quick transition. I like the idea. Just didn't want to roll in her favor. There is Rivera again. 3 ball for the Boxers is good from Nevaeh King. And Durfee's been held scoreless through 5.5 minutes here. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah, Brockton did a good job of really, it was their, they started off by not shooting well in the first quarter, and they didn't let them fluster them. They still ran their stuff, and right now they got a little bit more of an energy going, and they're starting to make some shots.
Another takeaway there on a bad pass. Tipped away and out of bounds. Durfee ball. Good effort from Montero, but just couldn't get there fast enough. You get that instinct to go after the ball. I think she was concerned that maybe she had touched it last, but it sure looked like Durfee had touched it last from up here.
That was just from the Brockton side. That's another really hard pass to make.
Yeah.
Anytime you're throwing under the hoop from the volleyball line is very hard.
Who wants it?
Good hustle by Lane diving on the floor, but travel. Durfee, they're doing the right things there.
Sure.
They're trying to get things going to the rim right now. Brockton's playing good defense. This is one right now where, from a mentality standpoint, is super, super early right now. Here's that, looks like that magic number, 14-14. We got a minute 52 till we hit that again, but it's going to be another one of those nights. Accept that and understand that that's how the game's going to go. So each possession, treat it as its own. Durfee in a 1-3-1. So again, switching it up defensively, trying to make something happen. And exactly what they do is Juliana Souza.
Need this, though. That's a killer when those don't go and you have the open shot. It's a break. When the layups don't go, that's incredibly frustrating. Off the rim, King gets there and travels.
Yep, just one of those offensive quarters right now. And another thing, from a positive standpoint, treat it as an offensive quarter. It's not the game. This is an offensive quarter right now.
Right.
We're in the Brendan Kelly closeout zone right now. We're under 2 minutes right now. You can still make some things happen to close out a quarter and still go up ahead of it. As a coach right now, you just want this 1 minute, 4 seconds to just go so you can go into, just almost for everybody on the floor.
Yeah.
To just kind of reset halftime-wise.
That's no good.
Because at the end of the day, Brockton's only got 12 points as well.
Right.
With 3 in the corner to take a 1-point lead.
Jalissa Miles, who just came in, has given Brockton their first lead since it was 2-0 in the first. They've outscored Durfee 9-0 in this quarter. When was the last time we said something like that? And Brockton will have the ball. I don't think I've ever seen a shutout quarter, and Durfee's in danger of it happening to them right now.
I'm usually real good with my memory stuff, as that's a great muscle move right now. Brockton with a lot of energy. Carter with a big muscle move to finish out.
Wow. Unbelievable. With .1, are you kidding? Come on.
Durfee will have a chance to get Durfee's going to have a shot at getting that scoreless quarter out of the way right now with 2 free throws. And this is where you say, have you seen a scoreless quarter? I'm sure I've been a part of some.
Yeah.
I can't think off the top of my head right now.
Well, and of course, as a coach, right? I mean, you're at every game. I'm not, obviously. You know, we cover as many as we can, but first free throw from Julia Hargraves misses. That foul was on Miles, who just had that big 3, and this is Brockton's 5th. Both. All right, one goes down. Excuse me.
So
wow.
the shutout did not happen.
That's incredible. What a turn of events. So for Brockton, 11 points before Durfee scores with .1 thanks to the free throws. Otherwise, it would have been a shutout quarter. So Durfee with some adjustments to make, clearly, after Brockton made some adjustments after the first quarter. An update from Brockton High School. Good news for Durfee fans. The Hilltopper boys are up 38-22 at the half. They're in halftime right now. They're about to start the third quarter. We started a little late here because the JV game prior to this game went long. Durfee winning tonight, JV 47-22, and it was never even that close. It was a real one-sided affair. I think at one point it was like 28-3 or 30-3, something like that. So the Lady Hilltoppers JV team got it done for sure this evening. But varsity down by 2 now after what was a strong first quarter, Brendan. Now they got to play from behind.
Yeah, I mean, I would choose, much easier said than done sitting on this side now, but there's positives. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah,
it's a one-possession game. Defensively, I thought they played hard for both quarters. These things happen. It's not necessarily fun when it's happening, but these things happen, and it's a 2-possession ball game. All you're going to need is a couple shots to go in, and you're going to forget about that quarter in a second. So a lot to work on, but a lot of things that can go well in the third quarter for Durfee.
All right, folks, you see the clock counting down the top of your screen here. 8.5 minutes left in the halftime break. Brendan and I are going to step aside. We will be back with the third quarter live right here on Fred TV. Stay tuned. It off. Back to Romero. Romero forges ahead. Touchdown, Hilltoppers.
Coming in, you're really scared. You might be a little nervous, but I think being a part of a team gives you friends who can come with you all the way through high school, and then coaches looking out for you. I think as an athlete, you can improve and learn the art of dedication.
That shot taken. Cadet will take the shot and score.
Hard work pays off. From my freshman year, starting off hardly knowing anything about sports to now my junior year, having almost all the school records in track and field. I feel like this school shows a lot of opportunities in classrooms and out of classrooms.
1, 2, 3, Durfee!
High flip to Espinal. Open 3. Got it! Big time hit from Granham.
Durfee has such a great community, such great pride, we're people who love to be here, we love to compete, we love to play, and it's such a great opportunity.
Corralled by Camara, full steam ahead, weaving through traffic, takes the shot, and it's good! Camara, coast to coast!
I've made a lot of great friends playing sports. I really appreciate how it fosters a community amongst all of the athletes, even in between sports seasons.
Good pass up the field, gets some good backspin on it, and it is a loose ball, shot, and it's good! To tie it, It's good! Medeiros on the PK!
You have a lot of support and a lot of people around you. It's a good environment, especially the sports teams.
Great. O'Connell with the three, and the lead is over 30.
I know how much pride it takes to be a topper, so it made me work harder so I can be more successful.
It's really great to just be able to learn accountability, reliability, just getting involved in school, and I feel like the best way to do that is to join a sport.
In the air in a deep left field. Coppola heading back at the wall. It's gone! 3-run home run for Montilla, and it's a 2-run game.
I'm Alan McNamara, CEO of Main Street Projects.
And I'm Kristen Cantara Oliveira, Vice Chair of the Community Preservation Committee.
The Bradford Durfee Textile College was a prominent training center for over a century.
A critical resource that prepared thousands of young people and immigrants to gain employment.
In 1899, the state invested approximately $75,000 to construct the Bradford Durfee Textile College, named after one of the city's leading industrialists.
As technology evolved, so did the curriculum, to include classes such as mechanical engineering.
But after years of accumulating wealth, northern mill owners could not compete with mills in the south.
Alan Macumber and members of the Community Preservation Committee envisioned a transformative project to stave off demolition.
The Durfee Textile College is now a vital cornerstone of downtown revitalization. Each of the 55 law-style apartments are uniquely designed with a comfortable blend of errors.
11 of those 55 units meet affordable housing regulations set by the CPC Community Housing Fund.
Members of the Historical Commission advocated for renovation over replacement. The 100,000 square foot building contains original flooring, brick walls, staircases, and doors. New construction replicates craftsmanship of 130 years earlier.
CPA funds have supported thousands of significant projects in Massachusetts. Thank you for your continued interest in community beautification and betterment.
I'm Mike Labossiere, Watuppa Reservation Forester.
And I'm Paul Furlan, the Administrator of Community Utilities.
Protecting open space is a benefit today, and it's a gift to future generations.
For over 150 years, Fall River has been a leader in environmental preservation. The Southeastern Massachusetts Bioreserve ensures forests and fields remain undeveloped and accessible. The Community Preservation Act is a vital component to fulfill climate goals.
Since 2017, CPA funds totaling nearly $1.3 million have been used to acquire conservation areas in Fall River. Educational programs within the bioreserve connect families to nature and promote understanding and respect for diverse culture, history, and wildlife.
Half of Fall River, about 12,000 acres, an area the size of Mattapoisett, is protected water and woodland. Healthy forests minimize flooding, reduce erosion, and provide habitat for endangered species.
As the region expands manufacturing and technology, people are directly reliant on green infrastructure as an irreplaceable source of clean water and air.
Miles of trails wind through unique landscapes which appeal to hikers, cross-country skiers, and mountain bikers. Specific areas are open for safe seasonal hunting. The Bioreserve promises endless discoveries and recreational experiences year-round.
CPA funds have supported thousands of significant projects in Massachusetts. Thank you for your continued interest in community beautification and betterment.
Fall River Public Schools has opportunities for positions in multiple areas for people looking to work with the next generation. Come grow with our team. We have openings for teachers, paraprofessionals, and teaching assistants, and other educational support positions available. We are also looking to fill operations support positions such as custodial, security, and food service. We offer competitive salary and benefit plans. We have rewarding work available in our 21st century schools and learning environments. Come grow with us. Please contact the Human Resources Department at 508-675-8420, extension 53708, or see our postings on our website at fallriverschools.org.
Welcome back, folks. The third quarter has just begun. Evan Massoud and Brendan Kelly here with you at Durfee High School girls hoops tonight. And the Hilltoppers came out of the locker room with about 20 seconds left on the timer for halftime.
But come out, and Madeline Hargraves knocks down a short corner jumper, and we're back off.
Yeah. Good way to start to get some points right out of the get-go. And a quick whistle there, that one out of bounds.
Touch the score clock.
Yeah, ball out of play. Update from Brockton while we were away. A lot has happened. Durfee is up big right now, 50-28 on the road at Brockton. With 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, they have continued to build a lead. It was 30-20, then it was 38-22, and now they're up 50-20. What did I say, 26? Something like that. I'm already forgetting what I just said. But needless to say,
we're in a good place in the third quarter.
That's a good place to be because you're late in the third. It's not like you just started the third. You're late in the third quarter now.
You got to close out in Brockton,
Yeah.
though. That is I don't want to say it's a haunted gym, but whenever you're going to do something at Brockton, you got to make sure you finish it through.
Yeah, been there enough. How many times did we have Brockton as a third matchup because of playoffs between you guys? Shaylin's season, we had Coach Bowen here twice because there was that coin toss, right? Because we had split the league and split the records and all that, and they ended up here. And Chathan Nera trying to knock down a three to win it.
Well, we did it.
Or was it Nillen? One of the two, I forget.
Yeah, it was Nillen. I specifically remember that. It was
Nillen.
My son was a couple weeks old. That was like my first time getting out of the house, so I went and watched that game. But we've played up there neutral site games.
That too, yeah.
2009, now we're going back a little bit, but.
It's an interesting gym. It's an old gym. The way it's set up, it reminds me of the Trip and of New Bedford High a bit, because when the bleachers are not open, you have three courts, but when they're open all the way, you just get the center court. As Carter drops a three down and Brockton up by 5, their largest lead of the night.
Tough gym to play in,
yeah.
Obviously because of the historical aspect. A real quick funny story, my first year at Case for volleyball, we go, this is the old three-point at Durfee. We go back to the old South format. Our neutral site games, Brockton, New Bedford.
Yeah.
So I was super comfortable there. You don't want to go there during certain seasons, but I was all right there. The pace has definitely picked up on both sides right now as shots are starting to fall. Defensive intensity is starting to go a little bit better.
Simpson's fourth foul, and the first foul for either side here in the third quarter.
Kudos to Durfee, though, too. They're running their offensive stuff. They're still shooting the ball. They're going to start dropping.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to stay cold all night. And obviously, you have a quarter like they did, and Coach is going to have some changes and some thoughts on that. And that, I also believe, is why they stayed in the locker room as long as they did.
Yes.
There was a lot to talk about from what had transpired over 8 minutes. Beautiful feed to Montero, and it will roll in.
Durfee had him trapped. Brockton did a nice job staying calm, got the ball up the floor for a nice, easy bucket underneath.
That might have been blocked, and we'll have our, I think that's our first dual possession of the night, actually. I don't recall a jump ball happening in that first half.
Well, the Evan Massoud flow of the game, I would say this is on the high level of a flow. You like your games nice and crisp. I'd say we're in a good spot for that.
Yeah, we're moving along. I mean, we're still less than an hour old, and that includes halftime. Another jump ball, and Durfee will now have it. We went live with our intros at 6:46, and so game time was about 6:50, and it's just coming up on 20 of 8. So game is actually moving on. I mean, we didn't have a lot of free throws. We didn't have a lot of stoppages for fouls and stuff. That's going to be for 2. It's in. Carter having a great third quarter. 7 points.
Well.
7 points in this third. 12 for the game. She's got the game high for both sides.
And she's doing it on both ends right now, rebounding the ball. You can see there's a pep in her step right now. She wants this ball back. She's feeling it.
Yeah, she started to heat up towards the end of the half, and now here in the third, she's been making some shots. And that's really the biggest thing, is Brockton getting baskets from the field, because the free throws really haven't been there tonight, but finally getting some from the field and with some consistency.
And Carter as a shooter right now, when you're a shooter and you have a couple go in right now, you want to get that. You want to get that next one back. Brockton as a whole right now is shooting with a little bit more confidence right now. They're looking to blow the roof off here with another 3.
Souza back to Hargraves. Already halfway through this third quarter, 3.5 to play. Another tough shot, earning the foul. Doesn't fall, but Lane will go to the line.
It's my first time seeing some extended minutes from Avery Lane. She plays very hard. She's physical down low, has some nice little drop step moves right now. Future's very bright for her, but this is, primarily a JV player a year ago, and I believe got the invite up for the state tournament. But, as a full-time starter now, rotational player, I'm impressed with what she can do down low.
She misses the first free throw. Foul was on Montero, her first, and Durfee going to take their first timeout of the night, which gives us a chance to give you an update here. Third quarter coming to a close. Brockton with a bit of a surge, the boys, here in the final seconds of the third quarter. They've closed the gap. It's 55-39. So they've gotten a few back. But the Hilltoppers still with a decent lead. As I think there's only about 3 seconds left here. And it's going to be free throws for Brockton.
Again, having spent a ton of time in my coaching life up in Brockton in multiple sports and multiple seasons, they're going to have to come out real strong in the fourth quarter. And they're going to have to be, extremely organized in closing Brockton out. No matter what, in anything, Brockton's still Brockton.
Oh, 100%. There was a foul as time expired, so 2 free throws for the Boxers with no time on the clock, so no rebound, just hit them both. It is a 14-point lead now for Durfee. It was 20 2.5 minutes ago. So end of third, Durfee on the road, up 55-41. We'll keep an eye on that.
It didn't dawn on me for a second until I looked over and saw that you were watching, on your phone, and it just dawned on me. What a world we're in.
Isn't that awesome?
And all joking aside, though, how cool is it for the high school students right now that their games are essentially live all the time with commentators?
Look at this. This is how we keep in touch, folks. We got to know what's going on.
What a world, I mean, my high school games weren't taped, and
no.
My early career, we would, with with the cards, and you had to put it on a computer. Then you had to put it on a CD. And
cards? What are you talking cards?
Like the little,
I
the
had
little
tapes.
The little SIM cards.
I had tapes, man.
Well, one of my first cameras I bought early, it was, you had to put the little tapes in, you're correct.
The little mini DVs.
Which was great. Then you realize 20, 22, 23 game season, you had to, those tapes were expensive.
They're expensive, and you want to talk time consuming? Folks, you may not realize this, but when we had those mini DV or any tape for that matter, that's not a digital medium. It's not a card. It's not file-based. It's not a DVD. So to get that onto a computer to edit it, you had to watch it back in real time. Oh, yeah. It was
coming up in the coaching ranks, mentors, older coaches, as all this stuff is evolving. Film your games. Have it all film your games. Oh, yes, absolutely. $500 later just for the tapes. Let alone and I'm, when it comes to electronics and stuff like that, I'm kind of like in the negative. I've never really been into it. So to go to like a Best Buy in 2006 or 2005, whatever it was, I didn't know what the heck I was looking for. And you get the cheap one because it's cheaper, but the tapes,
oh yeah,
what a time. Now you're just pressing a button and there's cameras doing it for you, and they do your stats for you now.
Yeah, and you know what?
Unbelievable.
What I learned, and I learned this in college, is that those mini DV tapes, if you bought Sony versus JVC or Fujifilm, they all have different lubrication on the tape itself, which can be damaging to if you use cross-brand and on the camera versus the tape. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're done with this.
Yeah,
we use SD cards, and we're using a free software here to live stream out, which records the whole broadcast with the graphics, everything. Everything you're watching live at home is recording natively to our laptop. So we record on the camera as a backup. That's just clean video, no graphics, nothing, no commercial spots. It's just there as a backup. God forbid the laptop crashes, we still have the game. But it's insane where we're at. And all of these changes here, a lot of them, including the live streaming, was forced on us because of COVID, and actually it was a good thing for us. It's helped us, be able to give you live coverage and not make you wait a day. We don't have to edit stuff anymore. This is such a streamlined way of doing it. It's fantastic.
Durfee with a shot clock violation. Unbelievable defensive sequence by Brockton. Really with great rotation. Durfee, offensive struggles continuing a little bit. Brockton with a great textbook 2-on-1 fast break. Bounce pass. That is camp stuff right there.
That was Miles with the baskets, and that's just what you want. You get the defensive stop, and then you storm down the court, and you turn it into points.
Yeah, Brockton right now, from an energy standpoint, Brockton's got a little bit more energy right now, and it's translating to other aspects on the floor.
Durfee has been held. 3-ball.
She's wanted that one since the last one she hit, and she's going to defend on this end just so she can get to the offensive end and try to do that again.
Durfee's largest lead was 10 points. It was 12-2 when they went on that 12-0 run back in the first quarter. Since that time, the Hilltoppers have been outscored 29-9.
And again, there's still
and they're not out of it. There's still 10 minutes of game to play.
A 10-point lead isn't what it used to be, especially with the way people shoot three-pointers now, and how the three-pointer and the free throw situations now where you can get into the double bonus right away. So a 10-point lead isn't what it used to be. So again, 9-10 minutes still left of real time in the game. There's a lot of things that can happen on your home floor and stuff like that. Durfee's just got to get a couple things going to the rim. Brockton's done a great job knowing that Durfee's trying to make their defense their offense, and they've done a great job being organized offensively in their press breaker, being patient, because they haven't shot the ball great either. They just recently started shooting the ball well. But kudos to Brockton. They've come in with a really good game plan and are hanging in there.
O'Connell will inbound here for the Hilltoppers.
Brockton showing a little bit of full court press.
Stolen by Carter, the
but-
player of the quarter.
She wanted to play defense just so she could get to offense. My style.
O'Connell's first foul, Durfee's second. Hilltoppers holding on right now in Brockton, 5:27 to play. 59-47 with an and one coming for the Boxers. And the Lady Boxers here finding their stride from outside as well.
Yeah, I said, probably mistakenly said that they hadn't shot the ball well tonight. They are now.
They are now. And the Hilltoppers are struggling offensively.
We talked about in the second quarter, you know, when the ball's not going in, they were running their stuff right now. Now you see a little bit of hesitancy in the Durfee, the Durfee offense.
That's going to be off the mark from Hargraves. And the Boxers will get their first. King with the rebound.
Nice little behind the back to get out of trouble. Poked out of bounds. The fancy dribble. Didn't serve its purpose, but nonetheless was still cool.
I actually have to tell you, it was a great play by King, but I thought the ball went out of bounds in the corner before it actually went out on the baseline. So I was kind of expecting a whistle, and I didn't hear one. That was deflected that time, as Miles wanted another.
And it's amazing when you see a few shots go in. It's amazing the confidence you can get. Brockton is shooting with a ton of confidence right now.
Hargraves for three again. That one's short. 7 seconds. Long pass. Open. They
Great
connect with
outlet.
Madison. The foul coming.
What a catch. Nice throw. You're seeing it. Brockton's totally sped things up right now.
Maddie Hargraves with her third foul. She's the only Hilltopper with multiple. It's Durfee's third as a team. Of course, that'll reset in 2.1 seconds. And Madison to the free throw line for the second time tonight. She'll shoot 2. She's missed now all 3 times.
Important right now with only 2.1 seconds right now. If in fact there's a miss, Durfee, just get the rebound. Don't allow a putback.
Nope, they got the rebound and they'll hold.
As they do. Points are at a premium right now.
Brockton with a 19-point third quarter, with 12 of those points going to Sonali Carter.
Brockton shooting with confidence, starting to make some shots right now. You know, it's important right now, Durfee, chip away a little bit. You're not going to be able to get them all back at once. You know, it's tough. You know, you get in these situations right now, you want to try to get them back in one offensive possession, which is not possible. You just have to chip away. 8 minutes can be a long time. You have timeouts. You're going to have dead ball situations. So try to extend the 8 minutes as much as you can. Get stops. But, I mean, ultimately, you can get as many stops as you want. The ball's going to go in the basket. But
fourth quarter half done in Brockton. 4 minutes to go. 63-47. Hilltoppers with the ball. Once again, looking to add. 3-ball put up is good by number 1, Mr. Reliable, Eric Lucas. 66-47, Durfee boys with 3:45 to play. That's a big shot right there from Lucas.
yeah, that's, you know.
He waited on it. Nobody came over to him. He's standing there with the ball. I guess I'll take it. So that's a big 3 right there.
Carter having a heck of a second half right now. Putting the ball in the basket. You know.
Durfee trying to answer, cannot, but they get the rebound.
Brockton's done a really good job. I mean, kind of a no-brainer right now. They're kind of just sitting in their zone right now, forcing Durfee to chuck from the outside, and, you know, they're waiting for them to beat them. Brockton, just like that, has an opportunity to extend to a 20-point lead.
Carter with 19 points.
You got to look at it right now. Brockton's not playing overly aggressive on their 2-3 zone. They're forcing Durfee. They're starting their offense a lot deeper than, a lot further away.
Yeah.
Than
I know. It's just they're not giving the Hilltoppers any room to work with.
Well, they're daring them. They're daring them to play outside right now, and it's working. Well, a very tough pass. I love that cross-court pass. It's a tough pass to make, but Brockton totally under control in the second half. As Durfee came out of halftime, hit a nice jumper, but it's been all Brockton.
All Brockton. (38-21). As O'Connell puts that one up. Nice rebound out to the corner here, near side. Hargraves will take it. No good. The rebound going to Miles, and Brockton will take it back the other way.
Great catch, too.
Hargraves has to reel it in. Can't go right to the basket. The pass was a little long.
And those are the opportunities Durfee can take. Those are the opportunities that Durfee can take, try to get some things out in transition. And right now, Hargraves looking at the referee.
She wanted to foul.
It's just frustration.
Yeah, there really wasn't anything there. Not that I saw, at least.
It's frustrating. You just anyway see the ball go through the hoop right now. I'm sure if Julia and Madeline could kick the ball in to see it go in right now, they would probably do so. Just to see it go through the hoop.
Of course. I mean, and I'm not saying she's wrong. She went through two players. She could have been fouled on that left side, away from our side of the ball, which we can't really see that contact from this angle. It's possible. I'm not discrediting her, but I think to your point exactly, it's certainly frustration.
Heck, if I was
nice
Durfee,
move.
Great finish, and that's the one you needed. I was going to sarcastically say, out of a dead ball right now, I would grab the ball and just go put a layup in right now, just to see the ball go through. But great move by Hargraves. She's playing hard all the way through. This isn't out of a lack of effort. All right, Durfee's playing hard, and these are things that happen sometimes in a basketball game.
Well, the road ahead doesn't get much easier for Durfee. We were talking about how tough the Lady Indians are for Dartmouth, and that is Durfee's next opponent. They will be off until Friday, so 2 practices, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they will be at Dartmouth Friday. DCTV will have that game live. They live stream on YouTube. We will share the link, and I will have the call for you folks here in the city from Dartmouth.
That is definitely on my agenda. I got to catch a Dartmouth girls game. Brian Jalbert, the head coach, has done a heck of a job. Good friend of mine. Grew up playing against each other. Durfee, Dartmouth, went to college.
And his dad, Rick, used to do some of the games on DCTV.
Yep,
I did some commentary with him. Great guy.
And the All-Star game at the New Bedford Boys and Girls Club at the end of the year, which was always one of my favorite things to attend. So Brian's a great guy, good friend. Doing a heck of a job. I mean, it's no secret the day she stepped on the court, Kat Cheeseborough was the real deal. But the numbers she's been putting up recently, I was telling the Seavies, if I was Dartmouth, I'd want to play every day right now. They've got some really good wins. They've got some great momentum. I'd just play every day right now while you're hot. But they're definitely on my to-do list to go out and catch a game. I just like going out local basketball games. So
of course,
that'll be 10-0. That's a heck of a start.
It's unbelievable.
And you always like to see your friends in the neighboring schools do well. And obviously not while you're playing them, but
sure,
it's good right there. But going back to it. It's great when the conference is this competitive. New Bedford's off to a good start. Bridgewater, Raynham, so it makes for fun basketball. especially being on this side now, where I don't have to stress about it.
I was going to say, blood pressure's a little lower.
So
huh?
it's fun for me maybe.
Brockton heading to, you mentioned the Seavies. Well, Brockton is heading to BR Friday. That's their next matchup. So, so they'll get to see the Trojans. First foul of this fourth quarter, it's Montero. Durfee up on the road. Another update from the boys here. 1:24 to play, 69-54. One of the Hilltoppers were just teched up, mouthing off after a after a steal or something. So
my point of closing things out the correct way, but
so I'm not sure who it was. Obviously, we don't have the audio running here, but needless to say, under 90 seconds, up by 15. Boys are in pretty good shape.
Still a lot of time right here. I mean, this is a couple quick steals, couple quick scores. You know,
but every basket has to count right now. You need every possession. You need points if you want to come back in this game. And Hargraves is fouled.
And this is what I talked about at the beginning. Right now, start to extend the game. I say slow the game down. I mean, make this clock stay, high for as long as you can. Get to the free throw line. Get some dead ball possessions. You know, and here we are. You make 2 free throws, 12 points. You know, things are starting to roll in a little bit right now. This is by no stretch over.
Oh, no.
For Durfee.
4:03 to play here. Half a quarter is a long time, and Coach Karen using another timeout.
Yep, and this is where having a lot of different defensive looks in your back pocket is going to be beneficial right now. And Brockton feeling it a little bit, shooting the ball well, confidence-wise. They're going to have to go back to their quarter 1, quarter 2 organizations running their offense, because Durfee's they're going to throw everything they have at them right now.
Yeah. Well, it's do or die time, as they say. Well, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, we'll have wrestling recorded tomorrow. That'll air Thursday. Friday, I will be at Dartmouth. And then Saturday, we have ice hockey at 4 o'clock, Southeastern Regional coming down to face the Bengals. That was an incredible game last year, and what turned into an extremely tragic situation, too, because the goalie in that game was that student from BP that was killed in a car accident the next day. Diamond won that game as overtime expired. It was like a walk-off goal. It was insane. Both teams just flat out playing their hearts out. And then the young man who was the goalie ended up passing in a car accident the next day.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was really just because BP co-ops with Southeastern for hockey.
It's one of those things,
So horrible.
You put a lot of effort and not proper words, but live and die with, the outcome of high school games. It puts things into perspective that, this is fun. You're with your friends, it's exercise, and, there's a whole world out there. So,
So that's
now the hockey program, once again, on the positive, this co-op has been nothing but beneficial for both sides.
100%. 100%. And, and what I love the most is that, the coaches had said it from day one. There's no animosity. There's no, you took my job from another school coming in. These guys just want to win. They just want to win games. And they had an amazing season last year. They're out to a good start this year. We saw 2 wins. They won the Prenda Cup as well this year, beating Somerset. It's a tie officially in the books because there's no shootout in the regular season. But they went to overtime and they went to the shootout to determine the cup, and they won it. They beat Somerset for that. So for pride, for the cup, they were able to determine a winner, which is fantastic.
It's funny you say that, reading, I keep my ear to the street in all high school stuff, and, I like to read the papers and check other sports as well. And you start seeing that games are ending in ties for power ranking purposes. but they're still going to the shootouts for the win. I just think that's cool.
Yeah, because of course, if you're playing a game for a local cup game, you
Yeah,
need
of
a winner.
course, of
You know,
course. Yep.
so I think it's great, and I think having those situations only helps you for playoffs and stuff too. For if you get that far. I remember doing a game one of my first winters here. Diamond was playing, I think it was Tri-County, and they played at AZF, neutral ice out in Brockton. And it went to double overtime. It was a scoreless game. You want to talk about nail biting. Oh, my goodness. It was an incredible game that Diamond did end up winning that one.
I don't get to do it often, but there's been a handful of years and a handful of times. Like if you go deep in the MIA tournament, great pass, great finish by Hargraves. We're at 11 right now, but
we're at 11 points.
If you go to a deep hockey tournament game at a neutral site, they're wild.
Oh, yeah. The crowds come out, foul called, and a chance to put this to a 9-point game. Breaking news from Brockton. The Hilltopper boys have won it on the road, 71-58. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's a huge win when you consider how competitive Dartmouth was and how competitive Brockton was against Dartmouth, a team that, Dartmouth I think is going to be very tough for Durfee, for the boys and the girls, of course. The boys are no slouch either. For Durfee to put that much up on Brockton, that's a huge win tonight for the boys.
Well, it starts off the big three. It starts off conference play, first and foremost. And, Durfee's, they've been in every game.
They have.
And you got to start winning some of those. And what better way to start winning some of those tight ones than at Brockton, start your league off. Brockton, great job breaking the press, finishing in traffic right now to get back up double figures.
That was an amazing pass, threading the needle through 3 sets of Hilltopper hands, and now batted away.
Hargraves with a great, they're both hustling right now.
Yeah, really.
I thought Julia did a great job of kind of keeping her away, and she got her hands on it. That was great.
Maddie Hargraves in the paint. Rebound, foul. Nice job there, Lane putting it up. She'll go back to the line. This will be her second time at the line. 2:02 now to play.
Durfee's done it. They've tried to keep the game going as long as they can. They just haven't been able to add it up on the offensive end.
Well, at this point now, drive the lane and try to get some contact every chance here, because Brockton's in bonus and Durfee's insured 2 shots for the next 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah, this is where getting out in transition, getting to the basket will be beneficial. Try to get some of the old-fashioned three-pointers.
Need Lane to drop one here. Doesn't fall. 0 for 4 at the line is Avery Lane tonight. Poked away. Nice job by Hargrave, but thrown away. That's just a pass you can't
great
make.
Hesitation. Great hesitation by King, though, at that hash mark. Wow, great. She tripped / got out of control, but that was an awesome change of speed right there.
Evangeline Souza picking up her second foul, both in this quarter, and it's Durfee's second. Another steal.
Just one of those things.
Doesn't want to go.
Great rim run.
That'll go out of bounds.
Good crash in the boards, though, by Brockton.
Got an injury here. It looks like
a little bit of blood, looks like.
Yeah. It's a bad scratch or something. She's kind of holding the ear, I think, on the way down. So that's Lane. So Lane will come out, and back in is Scott. Under 90 seconds to play here. Brockton looking to get above 500. Hargraves with the 3.
Durfee
Oh, no.
one.
Sorry, that was for 2. I thought it was for 3, but only the 2.
Great retreat dribble. Get back in here, Brockton, not forcing anything. Super important right here. Sometimes when the other team tries to speed you up, you take an ill-advised or you rush. Right now, Brockton literally just taking some clock off.
O'Connell. You heard Coach Karen say to the rim, what a block by King. All ball, total denial. And the Boxers taking it back. There's about a 5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. And a foul now, as that was obviously intentional to stop the clock.
Yeah, well, yeah, not an intentional foul, but
yeah,
fouling on purpose. But here's what you said, you know, Durfee's going to have to do a couple more.
Sure.
You know, the clock right now is not their friend before you send Brockton to the line for 2.
And maybe they're not gonna. Play it out. Hargraves with the steal. Gets the foul and the basket.
Stranger things have happened. You knock this at 6, you got to go for a steal immediately. It might be a little too late right now, but you know, this is a testament to Durfee. They didn't give up by any stretch. You know, 6, Jeff's going to use his final timeout, or what do we have officially? I know you always are the
I have not. No, I haven't been keeping track of the timeouts.
You're the running stat guy.
Yeah, well, I keep track of the score and the fouls. I haven't been keeping track of the timeouts tonight.
That's one thing.
Jeff has used a lot of them, so he's got to be nearing the end. But
that's one thing I love doing this, right? Doing these games. This is fun. You almost feel like I'm a kid again watching an NBA on NBC. But I find, is not being professionally trained with it, I find when I drop my eyes and I look down, I'll lose my train of thought when I try to go back to the game. So I try to keep my eyes on the game all the time. So I would never be able to do, unless I was trained and taught how to do a running book or anything like that. Because,
well, I'll be honest, I wasn't trained to score and to talk. I'm just doing it. and now with the live streaming, we have the element of, you know, the digital score and running this stuff as well and keeping the book. So it's like, as I'm saying the player's name, I'm marking the book so I know where it goes, and then I go and hit the total on the scoreboard on the computer. So,
well, just like
it's a workflow.
Well, just like my first ad read. Maybe you could give me the book 1 quarter this year. Let's see.
All right.
We'll see what happens. It's a turnover that Durfee need with no time off the clock.
Unbelievable.
So things real interesting right now.
You need a 3. You need a quick 3 immediately.
You need to get something to the rim as well.
Going out to O'Connell, and she's covered up. Can't waste time here. And the turnover. Scott needed to dump that ball off or take the shot. That's unfortunate. That's a possession wasted. That's tough. And no discredit to Brockton. O'Connell was the only one open, and they got to her just in time.
Well, they had the quick 3 right off the out of bounds play. And the tough aspect of that one is we got lucky with the turnover.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get another one right now.
You got to put the ball up though.
That's tough foul. Non-foul call right there. Durfee playing right to the end.
I give him a lot of credit. 15 points
grinding
in the quarter.
Grinding right to the end, making things interesting. They got a lot to be proud of from that aspect.
They held the Boxers to just 6 points in that 4th quarter. And, you know, you look and you say if they hadn't scored 7 combined in the 2nd and the 3rd, we may be going to overtime right now.
Yeah, that's, high school basketball sometimes. I mean, this was textbook as far as the flow really being weird. I mean, a lot of real weird point differentiations in the quarters. You know, a 6 point, a 9. Wood Brockton a 6 and a 4, and they won. 6 points in the 4th quarter, 4 points in the 4th quarter, and a win.
6 in the 1st, 6 in the 4th.
Yeah,
that's insane. It's crazy.
You know,
but you know, you also got production from Carter. Carter was the one. Carter made the difference in this game thanks to the 12 she had in the third quarter. That was the difference.
Yeah, I thought Nevaeh King played great for Brockton as well.
Did.
She really handled the ball well, kind of playing as that, pseudo point guard. But, credit to Brockton. They withstood Durfee first quarter, defensive stand and shot the ball really well. And, credit to Durfee, too. They went right down to the end, made it interesting. We're not quite at the halfway point of the season, so there's a lot of basketball to be played.
Well, not an entirely lost night. I know the girls didn't come out on the winning end here, but as we said, the boys did. We were keeping track throughout the game. So the boys winning on the road, that's a big win. And Dartmouth is up next. The boys will host here on Friday. You'll be able to watch it if you wish via the Durfee Athletics YouTube channel and the Huddle Cam here in the gym. I'll have the commentary from the road. We have the boys game on the road in February as well, so don't worry. We're even keel here. Both Dartmouth matchups will be on DCTV this winter, and I'll have the call for both of them. Remember, folks, we live stream here on our Facebook page. Like and follow us so you don't miss a minute of the action. Everything gets archived to our YouTube channel under the same name, Fred TV Sports, so you can watch anytime, anywhere. Brendan, thanks for being with me. Looking forward to next week. We have Durfee boys here against New Bedford a week from tonight. And then the Durfee girls back here next Friday against Bridgewater Rainham. We have both of those games from the field house next week, and I look forward to having you with us. We're hoping we'll have Chris Santos with us for next Tuesday for the boys game against New Bedford. Chris has joined us a number of times for a three-man team, so we're hoping we'll have him as well. Craig Salvador running our camera this evening. For my broadcast partner, Brendan Kelly, I'm Evan Massoud. Brockton wins it 42-36. Good night.